In the previous movie, I showed you how to move through your code step by step and how to step in or out of subroutines or functions called from the main procedure. In this movie, I'll show you how to set breakpoints in your code. When you set a breakpoint, Excel runs the code to the breakpoint and stops until you tell it to continue. While Excel is stopped, you can verify the values assigned to variables and thereby determine whether your program is functioning correctly. So I'll switch over from this workbook to the Visual Basic Editor, and you'll see substantially the same code that I used in the previous module. To set a breakpoint in your code, you click the vertical bar to the left of the code window, next to a line of code. So let's say I wanted to click here, to the left of the message box string state line. When I did, a brick red dot appeared in the vertical bar next to the code window. Now, if I press F5 to run the code, it runs to that point and then it enters break mode. If I want to keep running the code, I can either click the continue button or press F5. When I do, Excel runs the remainder of the code, and it retains the breakpoint in the file. So that's how you continue running code. If you want to jump out of a subroutine and stop execution while it's at a breakpoint, say you run the code, F5, it runs to the breakpoint. Now you can go up and click the reset button. That stops execution and puts you back in edit mode. You can toggle a breakpoint on and off by clicking the bar next to the line of code. So clicking here removes the breakpoint. If you want to put it back, all you need to do is click again. Clicking next to an empty line doesn't do anything. So for example, if I were to click here, there's no code, so there's nothing to stop in front of, in other words, so you can't establish a breakpoint. I could, however, put one here and have multiple breakpoints in the same code. Now if I press F5, it runs to here, to the message box showing the state. F5 again, it implements that instruction, and then it goes to message box, string city, and stops. When I press F5, it runs that step and continues on. While you're in break mode, just as when you were stepping through a subroutine by pressing F8, you can hover your mouse pointer over a variable to see the value that's assigned to it. So if I press F5 and run to the message box showing the state, now I can hover the mouse pointer over the string state variable and over the string city variable to see what values are assigned to them. If I press F5, Excel continues running its code. Don't forget that you can use comments to have Excel ignore certain lines of code. Combining comments with breakpoints helps you limit which code will run, greatly simplifying your debugging process.